Hey, friends, I'm Dan Foulds. How you doing? Hey, we are so glad you're here tonight. I'm Dan.
And I'm Brandon Bain.
And this is Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Big is back.
I'm back.
He was not here last weekend. Listen, I was so fortunate to be able to reach my hand out and get a hold of Sean Herb and have him come in and sit in.
Yeah. Big shout out to Sean Herb. Greatly appreciated you filling in for me, brother. Like I said, I was down and out for the count last week. I'm back this week. We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty, man. Super excited to be back.
Awesome. I'm glad you're back. Sean Herb, by the way, is the co-star of the 19th hole live from the Henderson cabin. And that was a show that we put on here during the Masters.
Yeah.
It was
huge,
hugely popular.
Yeah,
it was
good.
Fun to watch. It's fun to watch now. It's on the Rubbin' and Grubbin' YouTube channel.
Yeah, which I highly recommend.
Yeah,
I highly recommend checking it out through the Rubbin' and Grubbin' channel. Like I say, you guys follow us, like us, share us, subscribe, man. All the support is greatly appreciated.
Listen, number one person to thank is you. If you're watching this, then you know you're the star, because without you, there's no reason for us to do this. So thanks very much. We also want to thank the ESPN radio audience who tunes in and sees this show on Facebook Live. We're looking forward to, when the NASCAR season resumes, getting back on the radio on Sunday mornings with PJ Zuko.
Yeah, man. Season 2, Green, White, Checkered. If you guys hadn't ever seen that, definitely have your ears open. 104.3 ESPN Radio here in Savannah. It's an awesome show every Sunday morning, 9 to 9:30 this past year. It's a great time. PJ really knows his stuff. Me and Dan are on there, just talking, getting everybody ready for the race on Sunday, man. That's what it's all about. So definitely, like I said, always get ready to check out Season 2 or the next installment of Green, White, Checker coming up real soon, man. I only got a couple months to make it, man. Couple months.
NASCAR news. Well, obviously, we're not racing right now, but there's still a lot of stuff going on in NASCAR. There's still some NASCAR drama. And I have to say, we're only 67 days away from the green flag dropping for the Daytona 500.
Couple months, man. That's it. That's what I said. Couple months. Quick turnaround.
When you're 63 years old, 67 days is like a fart in the wind. It just goes really quick. Speaking of Daytona, there has been this is NASCAR news and NASCAR drama, a shakeup in the location of the second race of the year. Because see, out on the left coast, on the left coast, there's a governor who has decided that the answer to coronavirus is to absolutely, totally just shut down the state. God bless you, sir. I hope it works out for you. I feel sorry for all the people that you're putting out of business, the millions of lives that you are affecting. I hope it works out for you. I personally don't agree with that strategy, but whatever. I live in Georgia, not California. Thank you, God, that I don't live in California. So what's NASCAR going to do? They're going to go run the second. They're not going to California because there's not going to be any human beings there. And by the way, for Governor Gavin Newsom in California, when we raced at Talladega, there was how many people? 20,000 people there? LB? There was about 20,000 people at Talladega, and how many people got sick from coronavirus from going to that race? Zero, Governor. 0 people got sick from going to a NASCAR race. But if you don't want to let anybody go to a NASCAR race in California, that's fine. I almost dropped an F-bomb.
I saw that.
We won't go there and race. We'll just go somewhere else. So we're not going to California. We're going to race on the Daytona Roval. So we're going to be Daytona, and then we're going to go down to Homestead. And I'm a Florida boy. And I kind of like it that we're going to just do a lot of racing around here.
Well, it makes sense. Like this is something like even before COVID they have talked about, right? So you have obvious racetracks out on the West Coast. Then you got, middle. You got Texas, Kansas City. You got some of the races middle of the country. Then you got East Coast, right? So they have always talked about like having a plan to go out and make a West Coast swing back to an East Coast swing, or let's line up and race. If we're going to start at Daytona, like you said, let's go Daytona, let's go Miami, let's go Atlanta, let's go Charlotte, let's go Richmond, let's go a lot of East Coast, and then we go out here to the West Coast and we run a lot of West Coast, run it on the way back over to the East, back out of the West.
Yep.
COVID's kind of given them there again an opportunity to try these things out and do these different things and make the moves necessary. Hey, we can't race in California. We're going to just run Daytona, and then we're going to turn around and run Daytona again. I mean, I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to be something awesome. It gives a lot of folks in that general area, Daytona down there, something to look forward to come back to. Then we go to Miami, and then obviously, hopefully, I'll be in Atlanta. It just depends on the infield situation, which I hope they really get figured out really quick.
Yep.
So we can all go, because that's something I look forward to all the time. But I think they're kind of getting aligned out as far as NASCAR schedule goes, to where you're going to go race some tracks that are out here, and we're going to race these tracks out here. We're going to go up and down, and then we'll go out to the west, or the west first and then the east, or where the logistics of it and the cost of just think about having an 18-wheeler and you're racing in Charlotte, and then there's a guy that leaves your shop in Charlotte or surrounding areas in North Carolina and goes from there all the way out to the West Coast to race one race or two races, to turn around and come all the way back to the East Coast,
right,
while this truck's bringing another one down. The logistics of it and what it costs for a team and what it costs these team owners is astronomical compared to any other sport. You're talking about putting guys on a plane, flying here, flying back. You're talking about putting cars on haulers, fuels all the way across the country, and then making sure that car's there on time, no matter what, it's there, to turn around and drive all the way back to get another car. So I think they're doing a really good job of lining it up to where, hey, we're going to go Daytona, we're going to go Miami, we're going to go this, we're going to go Atlanta, we're going to go New Hampshire, Richmond, everything on that East Coast, Bristol, Texas, back to the West, back to the East. I think that's the way to go, man. I mean, I honestly do. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise. And that's how I look at it. So whether we're racing California or we're racing Daytona Roval, I'm down with it, man.
We're talking about NASCAR and how great NASCAR is for America, and how NASCAR was the only sport that came back, even though they couldn't have anybody in the stands, but they actually started having sports again, and I thank God for that we actually had something to look at over the year. That's what we're talking about, and we're talking about next year. When we have vaccines, when people can go back to normal living, we can go back to racing again, we will have people in the stands at Daytona. I don't know how many, maybe 10,000, 20,000.
Yeah, it's on that state's guidelines, whatever the guidelines are for that state.
But there'll be somebody
that's
there.
What they do. And hey, man, I mean, I love it. I know Atlanta is expecting X amount of percentage of stadium, fans in the stands at the track, and then X amount of camping on the outside of the track. I'm waiting on to hear about the infield so we can all go. Like I said, we've invited Dan, Lawrence, JB, the whole crowd to come up, check it out, experience where we're at. So hopefully that goes through, but I'm saying it's still to be determined. So we just kind of sit and wait on that, man. But eventually it's going to get worked out. And then once it gets worked out, we'll be there, man.
Heck yeah. Speaking of Florida, the Super Bowl of track racing was held last weekend in Pensacola. The Snowball Derby. Young Ty Majeski held off Derek Thorne to win Sunday's Snowball Derby. Cup champion Chase Elliott, your man,
my man,
had to win the last chance qualifier on Saturday to get in the field.
Hey,
he finished third in the 53rd annual event.
There it is. Got in, finished third, man. I mean, come on, man. You got to give him props for that.
I'm going to confess that if I ever heard of the Snowball Derby, that memory has been lost to VO or beer or age.
Was Kyle Larson in it? There you go. Kyle Larson wasn't in it. That's why Kyle Larson didn't win anyway. So we're going to keep on going on. But
Majeski ran 15 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series races this past season. Others with NASCAR ties who finished in the top 10 Sunday were Chase Elliott, third, Chandler Smith, fourth, Kyle F. Busch, seventh, and Grant Enfinger, eighth. There were 36 competitors in the 300-lap super late model. What's a super late model?
Different style car, just chassis setup, body setup car. Very, very fast. Top top of that sport in late model body style racing style.
Is the car set to the left?
I mean, it just all depends. To be honest, I didn't watch, I hadn't seen, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty intense, man. A lot of horsepower, a lot of sliding. You'll see some front wheels come off, some left fronts come off the ground in the center of a turn.
Yeah.
It's intense, man. It's a different style, man. It definitely is.
I think my hero, who's about my age, Schrader, is racing that car, super late models. If you know the answer to that, drop us a comment. I think Mr. Schrader's racing super late models. That was at Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. And I'm a DeLand boy, so I know exactly where that is. That's great. Speaking of Chandler Smith, he's a Georgia native, and he'll drive the number 18 Toyota Tundra for Kyle Busch. 18. In 2021, and he's going to compete for the 2021 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship. He's 18 years old, and it's his 3rd season with KBM.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's kind of a do or die. What it sounds like to me, it's a do or die time. You're in your 3rd season.
He's 18 years old.
It doesn't matter. That's probably the top 3 to 4 truck equipment in that sport. Kyle Busch does an amazing job pumping the money in, gets young talent. He drives it himself. He goes out, and I've said it every time, if Kyle Busch is in a truck series race, Kyle Busch 9 times out of 10 is going to win that race. It doesn't matter.
Probably why they won't let the Cup guys drive but 7 races, right?
That was a big reason why they limited numbers to what they have now as far as X amount of years. In Cup Series, you can only race so many races in trucks and Xfinity.
Right.
That's the exact reason. But with that being said, kid's probably got a lot of talent, but it's kind of make or break year. Either you got to come out and win a lot of races, or you got to win the championship. You got to do something to show kind of where you're at, where you develop to, if this is your 3rd year in that equipment, and that is some of the top equipment. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Young Mr. Smith is from the small North Georgia town of Talking Rock. Guess where that name came from?
I have no clue.
That's an Indian name.
Oh, well, I mean, I could have guessed that, but I thought it was like, I thought you were going to be like, bam, break it down. Like, I thought you were getting ready to hit me with some history,
how many
baby.
people live? You did not. Come yourself up here.
No.
Come here. We have a member of our studio audience. Come on around here. Come here. Okay, Talking Rock, Georgia has 71 people. Get right in the middle. Come here. We're going to run 3 wide now with our friend Dawn. How are you, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
So tell us about Talking Rock.
Well, it's like a little farming area below North Georgia. So below Jasper. Jasper's the main city, and Talking Rock is like Lumpkin, Hinton. There's all these little towns, right?
Lumpkin is where the United States Army Rangers go to Ranger School, by the way. Lumpkin County, Wimpy's Airport. Yep.
There you go. We were right next to each other the whole time and didn't know it.
There you go.
My grandpa is Troy Dean, and it's probably full of deans in Talking Rock, Georgia, actually.
Talking Rock, Georgia. Another name I love is Welcome, North Carolina. You ever heard of Welcome, North Carolina? That's where the Dillon boys are from. Welcome, North Carolina. I mean, what a great name for a town.
It is a nice town.
Talking Rock, Georgia. Thank you, baby.
And they're mostly Indians, like I claim to be.
I think a lot of these names are Indian. It's like Thunderbolt, Georgia.
There you go.
Thunderbolt, Georgia is an Indian name, believe it or not.
I'm not surprised by that.
There you go. Thank you very much, baby.
And let me tell you, I tried to talk to a rock once. It didn't talk back, but
I snorted. Oh, my Lord. All right, 71 people in Talking Rock. Hey, Front Row Motorsports indicated Friday that spotter Clayton Hughes. Now, look, Mr. Hughes, if by some freak chance of nature you're seeing this, Clayton Hughes, I want you to know that I think you are one cool dude. Clayton Hughes is cool as a cucumber. He's going to join Front Row Motorsports, and he's going to spot for Michael McDowell in the Cup Series next season. Hughes has been a long-time spotter for Martin Truex Jr., and he served as the eye in the sky for his march to the 2017 Cup Series Championship. Hughes was a familiar voice on the radio for Furniture Row Racing, who followed Truex to Joe Gibb Racing number 19 team, where his call of stand by, stage winner, MTJ. That is spectacular. You can see those videos on YouTube. They're on Radioactive. NASCAR puts out these radioactive videos, and that I know exactly that guy's voice, and just the snap to the cadence of his voice. Stage winner MTJ on the way to win that championship in 2017. Local racing news. We never went to Oglethorpe.
No, we didn't. Did not happen to make it out there.
We got to go next year.
Yeah. I mean, what the hell? That's where we're going. What the hell?
We got to go. Listen, we support racing right here, and I think maybe the coronavirus got up in our face in our way or something. But we need to go out there because that is racing right here in Savannah, Georgia. You know, where I grew up, the New Smyrna Raceway, Daytona's right down the road. Oglethorpe Speedway Park is our racetrack, and if you consider yourself a race fan, which I do now, as of last year, we should go out there. They wrapped up their 2020 season this past weekend. Obviously, the Cooties shortened their season, but they had a fun and entertaining race season. Congratulations to the 2020 champions and rookies of the year at Savannah's own Oglethorpe Speedway. The Miller Lite Gladiators, champion Brandon Yawn, and rookie of the year Andrew Stone. Congratulations, men. OSP Road Warrior, champion Ian Padgett. Evans Delivery Sharp Mini Late Bottles, champion Brad Amerson. Go Mobile Storage Mini Stocks, champion Josh Carter. Rookie of the year Michael Condon. Congratulations, guys. Pooler Pond and Diamond Company Super 4 champion, rookie of the year James Canada. Oglethorpe Speedway Park announced yesterday that race director Rick Morris is stepping down to spend more time with his family. I totally get that.
I know Rick.
Do you?
Yeah, I've done some work for Rick. Rick's a pretty cool dude. He's been out there a very long time out at Oglethorpe, man. Yeah.
He's like the personality of the track.
Oh yeah, I've done some work for him, a couple different little jobs and stuff through what I do, and yeah, Rick's a real cool guy, man. I can totally understand why he's stepping down. It definitely devotes time. It's kind of why I didn't make it out there. I'm going to speak for myself. I work. As we all know, work a couple jobs.
2 jobs, yeah.
And if I'm going to go watch dirt track racing, by the way, and it's BYOB or BYOC, which means bring your own beer or bring your own cooler.
Right.
Brandon's gonna be hurting the next day he wakes up. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm gonna drink a lot of beer. It doesn't matter if it's NASCAR or if it's Oglethorpe Speedway. I'm gonna drink a lot of beer, and that's a problem for me when I gotta get up and go to work on Saturday.
Yes, it is.
So, but I will make it out there, and I will drink a lot of beer, and I will man up, and I will go to work on a Saturday here this next season for sure.
Well, Mr. Rick Morris, we wish you the best in whatever your future endeavors hold. I'm going to tell you something. I was a soldier for 20 years, and then I worked in the civilian medevac world for 17 years, and I'm a boat captain. Trust me, you will find new adventures to live. You will figure out a new way to work your tail off so that your feet hurt, like mine do right now. It's good. It's good to have something to do, and I assure you that you will find something to do, and I hope it works out for you. Please support your local dirt track.
That's it.
I've been wanting to talk about teams and team numbers for next year because I'm trying to learn more about this. So I had printed out this basically a Bible of all the teams, the driver, the car number, the team name, and my Bible got missing. But we're going to do a couple each week, and so this week we're going to talk 8, 9, and 10. So let's talk 8. That's Tyler Reddick, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about Tyler.
You got Reddick sitting in the 8, Richard Childress car. Obviously, a lot of big news passed on this past year. Going to start getting their motors through Hendrick instead of them producing their own motors. Good talent, man. I mean, the kid can flat drive the wheels off of it. Goes about it a little different way. It's kind of I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's a mix of like a Kyle Larson and then kind of like an old school guy. Like, he'll ride that high line, he'll build that momentum and run that speed and put that car on that edge, put it in the spots that it's not supposed to be, which I love about him. Think he's a great talent, got a very bright future.
Yes.
But it's kind of a mix. So was very impressed in what he did this year for what he was doing and coming into that 8 car and the equipment. I'm not going to down Richard Childress and say, hey, it's not this, but it's not this, unfortunately. There again, don't be mad at me, but I'm just saying.
You're saying it's not top tier.
Nah, it's not top tier. I mean, it is the first step below top tier. You know what I mean? Like, that is the close you can get. I mean, they're on the verge. So I think maybe a little more investment.
The 3 car won the Daytona 500.
The 3 car won.
And that's also an RCR car.
He won Texas.
Oh, I thought he won the.
He did.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
maybe.
he did,
And
but
he won
not this
Texas
past
this
year. Yeah,
Okay.
he's won big races and a few.
So they
but
can
for
put
me,
up a champion car.
But for me, okay, we say this race a couple years ago, this race and this race.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the same to me as when you look at
What's happening right now?
Hendrick, a JGR
I got you.
stable.
I got you.
So but a great guy, great car, great young talent.
So that's the 8.
I think he's got his own style, man.
Who's driven the 8 in the past?
You got Earnhardt Jr., who obviously, put that on the map for a while. I'm sure some guys are going to go old school on me and throw some comments out there about like, oh, this guy and this guy.
The number 8 car,
But
the 8. Drop us a comment. Let us know. Who's your favorite number 8 car driver? Okay, so that's 8. What do you know about the 9 car?
man, now you're talking my language. All that I need to know is the fact it's a 2020 championship car number, and a man by the name of Chase Elliott drives it. That's all I need to know.
If you have not yet seen the YouTube video of Chase Elliott driving his car down the highway to his hometown.
That's how the Georgia boys do it down here, man. That's what I'm talking about, you know? Man,
that video is spectacular.
Get real. No, the 9, for him to get that and do what he does, I've said it, it is every so often you get that generational driver. You had Earnhardt, before Earnhardt you had some guys. You had, Jeff Gordon. Now you got the Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch kind of in the mix on the same air.
Yes.
Now we're talking Chase Elliott. And you can mark my words right here on Rubbin' and Grubbin', coming to you live from Coach's Corner, center of the universe. You can mark my words when I tell you Chase Elliott is that next phenom driver. When Chase Elliott comes out next year and contends again for that championship,
yes,
don't say I didn't tell you.
Okay.
It's on, man. That is a high talented team and driver. Well-funded, talent in the engineering department, technological department.
Yep.
Very talented in the driver department. Very talented in pit crew. Very talented in crew chief. That team is solid. Not going anywhere.
So, finally, third car we're going to talk about, the 10 car. What do we know about the 10 car? Eric Almirola, is that right?
Yeah, you got Almirola in it now. It's a Stewart Haas car. Great car, great piece of equipment.
Tony Stewart.
You got Eric Almirola.
Tony Stewart is the steward in that.
And Gene Haas.
What's his deal?
Just a car owner through, open wheel, different racing organizations.
Is he a race car driver?
I do not know if he ever was or not. I'm not going to sit here and say yay or nay. But
do you know Haas was a race car driver?
Yeah, I do know that, like I said, he invests a lot. Open wheel now. Went in with Tony, very successful, won a championship with Harvick. There again, very close over a few years. Great car owner, obviously, with Stewart and him in it. They put everything forward. Eric Almirola had a streak this year of top 10s that was pretty impressive, probably one of the most impressive of his career.
Right.
I think it's kind of, there again, we said it earlier about the truck series. I think this year coming up for Eric Almirola is a put up or shut up kind of year.
Yep.
It's time to go out and win a couple, not just a race, but a couple races, show that, Kevin Harvick isn't the only car that can go out and dominate. Now, we had Cole Custer in the 41, also Stewart Haas, win a race this year. Boyer's moving to the booth, Briscoe's moving in, Almirola's still there. 10 and 14 have to show what these guys have already shown through, hey, we can win. Now, this move right here on that 41 car, man, that move, Custer's move to win that race was probably one of the best moves all season long that we saw. That was one of the best moves.
One of my favorite things that I heard
One of my
favorite things that I heard on TV was when Boyer said, "Did Cole Custer just win?"
Yeah. Dude,
that was great.
When you got every guy up front, big name guy up front, and they get side by side racing, they forget. And that man put that car 5 wide or 4 wide or whatever it was, got that lead and set sail, and that was it. Got to win, man. What a better way to do your rookie season, rookie campaign, man. So, but back to Eric Almirola, like I said, I think 2021 is a put up or shut up year. Either you're going to win some races, or more than likely they're going to be finding somebody else to sit in that seat, and it's probably going to be a young driver, man. So, yeah, Ricky Rudd drove the 10. You had quite a few guys. you know, one of the original, you know, Iron Men of the sport, and Ricky Rudd there for a while. Consecutive races, you know, ran, and I mean, stuff that he's done, you know, throughout his career. I mean, he put that car, the Tide car, on the map for a while too. So, just a little different, man.
So one of the things another thing we're doing in the off season is we're going through the nicknames of the drivers. And LB, the producer, the brains behind the camera, has created a comprehensive list here. We're not going to handle them all tonight, but we're going to hit a few of them. So Tommy Ellis, who was a driver, was Terrible Tommy. Charles Farmer was Red. Larry Flynn was the Flying Irishman. I mean, they had colorful names back then.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I think we got to get back into that these days, man.
Super Tex. Harry Gant. Now I remember Harry Gant.
Oh, yeah.
The Skull Bandit.
Oh yeah.
Or Handsome Harry.
I got an autograph from. That's where actually my nickname Buckshot kind of originated from as well. I have a signed picture of Harry Gant, not a photograph, but it's him in a car, like a drawing.
Yeah.
And actually Harry Gant signed it with me. We have pictures of it. But anyways, he wrote, my uncle Bobby took me. And he goes, you know, he goes, what's his name? He says his name's Buckshot. So he wrote to Buckshot from Harry Gant, right? Well, when you look at it, it looks like buck shit. So anyways, that's kind of where that name went, and that's a true story. You can look that up. That honestly went down too. So yeah, man. Nicknames is a lost art of the sport. I mean, it really is. Nicknames,
you know, in the military, all the pilots have a call sign.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I love it. I mean, this is like, oh, that's my man. You know,
now,
I mean,
the next nickname I'm going to throw out. This was not a nickname that was given out of affection or respect. This was a derisive nickname.
Yeah.
So back in the day, and what I'm aware about NASCAR is back in the day, NASCAR drivers were old, grizzled, hard drinking, hard partying dudes. You know, they probably had a little stubble on their face when they got in the car. If you crossed them up, they might just get out and beat the snot out of you right in the middle of the racetrack. This was country boy. This was hard stuff. And then this kid comes along who is nothing but Hollywood pretty. He's got perfect hair, he's beautiful, and he wins the shit out of races. He was like, people loved him or they hated him. And one of his names was Wonder Boy. And that was young Mr. Jeff Gordon.
I'm going to tell you like this. I love the man. To me, GOAT. Greatest of all time. I don't care what happens from this point forward. You'll never change my mind on it. I don't care. We'll argue till we're blue in the face.
Your dad gave me the Buddy Baker book, and Buddy talked about him at length.
The Wonder Boy. Wanted to be an open wheel driver, comes in, you know, gets an opportunity, goes out and run. I mean, it was amazing. Bill Davis had him in the Baby Ruth 1 car there for a while. A Ford man. Rick Hendrick came in and got him. The rest history, man. That is, you know, one of the guys that came out of the West Coast, you know, pretty cut, this, that, ladies loved him, whatever, you know, yada, yada, yada.
He was good for NASCAR.
Yeah, and you had Earnhardt at the time and some other guys that, you know, Rusty and, Darrell Waltrip on the back end of his career, Terry Labonte, you know, Bobby Labonte getting started. You had a lot of guys there getting started. Old school drivers,
yeah.
But at the end of the day, the Wonder Boy came from Earnhardt. We all know that. And, man, I tell you what, they respected each other a lot. They gave each other a lot of shit. But those were two competitive dudes, man.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like I said, to me, greatest of all time, never going to get any better than Jeff Gordon. And, I mean, I'll argue it, but Wonder Boy is perfect fitting, man. The only thing I wonder about is what they could have done had Ray Evernham stayed with Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
Had Ray Evernham stayed there,
his other name is Rainbow Warrior because he's
that's a team. That's a team name. Rainbow Warrior,
company
baby.
Sponsored the team.
DuPont, baby. Yep. I mean, hey, Rainbow Warrior.
They did good.
Man, let me tell you.
And by the way, I love how he calls races. And Fox, when we come back on TV for races, Fox is back in the saddle calling the races.
Yeah. First 10 or 12 that they call, every year,
get about
man.
The first half
and you get to hear it, and I think Boyer will. Oh man, you're gonna get a great.
You're
gonna get a great.
Stand by for heavy seats.
Yep.
All right, Robbie Gordon was the Flash.
Yeah.
Kevin Harvick, who's got kind of a taciturn.
Happy. He kind of got two nicknames. They call him Happy Harvick or the closer, right? So he kind of got two.
Ernie Irvin was Swervin' Irvin.
Yep.
Ned Jarrett was Gentleman Ned. Dale Jarrett was DJ, the other Dale. Jimmy Johnson was 7-time. Roy Jones was Buckshot. Matt Kenseth, Matt the Brat, Brad Keselowski, Bad Brad, Terry Labonte, the Iceman. I flew with a Chinook pilot in the Army whose nickname was the Iceman. Yeah, because he was
like
cool.
Cool
He retired as a Chief Warrant Officer 5.
Yeah.
What was your nickname?
War Dog 57. My call sign was War Dog 57. When I flew medevac, it was Iceman because I flew a Dolphin and Ice one time. It was also Stinger because one time I was a little hot coming into a helipad in Pennsylvania, and I actually got the Stinger contacting the helipad. So nobody's supposed to know that. Either Iceman or Stinger. Terry Labonte, the Iceman. Joey Logano, sliced bread.
Yeah.
Coolest thing.
Best thing since sliced bread.
Best thing, and recently, nobody's friend. Mark Martin. We're going to stop with Mr. Mark, the original. And so that's enough. We're going to come.
I mean, here's my whole thing. Like, all right, so if anybody out there has a nickname for a driver that was not named on this, a new driver, send in that nickname, because I have a lot of nicknames for a lot of these guys that are in this sport now, which I think the nicknames is something we have to get back to. It's based off of personality. It's based off of driving style. It helps the public relate to who they are, where they came from, what they're about. I mean, I just think it's something we got to get back to. We got to get back to these nicknames, man.
I agree with that. I think that's good. That's good. So we stopped with Mark Martin, who, by the way, Mark Martin is the favorite driver of a video producer that I really like. I think the world of. I've been watching a lot of his videos. His name is Slap Shoes.
Yeah.
He doesn't spell it exactly right, but he just made a great video about the current state of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it was educational for me to watch this video. So Big and I, before we went on tonight, we had a big discussion about the way that the season goes and the way the playoffs goes.
Yeah.
So back in the day, you got points. You got points for every race you ran, and at the end of the year, the guy with the most points, you got points for winning. You got points for for where you placed.
Yep.
At the end of the year, the winner won. The bad thing about that was you might have locked in the championship with 3 or 4 or 5 races to go, right?
Right.
So there was no drama.
Well, I mean, that's just kind of the nature of the beast, like we talked about before the show came on. Like, he's kind of against the new way they're doing things and consistency and the old school way. And, I mean, I can understand 100% where he's coming from, but at the end of the day, in my eyes, it doesn't matter if you were consistent through the whole season or not. If you're that good, we're going to come down to these races and win, right? Like, we're going to come out and perform. We saw it with Kevin Harvick this year, 9 wins. 20 plus however many amount of top 10s, right?
I would have called Kevin Harvick the championship.
Would have done it, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? He didn't. He came up short.
Right.
Right? That's the nature of the beast. I feel as long as everybody's playing by the same rules, doesn't matter if it's old point system, the chase point system, the new point system, which I happen to love. I mean, I think it adds extra incentive for these teams to show up, to get this money, to go out and get this championship and make these wins. These are guys that have millions of dollars they invest in technological advances.
Yes.
Show up. Show up. So if you're that good, show up. Kevin Harvick wins 9 races, 20 plus X amount of top 10s this year, doesn't make the chase. Guess what? Am I sorry for you? I am. Am I mad? No. At the end of the day, it is a streaky sport. We have talked about this numerous times. It is a streaky sport. You're hot or you're not. And guess what? Kevin Harvick was hot 2/3 of the year, but when it counted, he was not. And whether that's on the old point system or the new, not that I did the mathematical statistics and added it up to find out who would have been champion.
It would be fun to know if Kevin Harvick would have won under the original system.
But what I'm saying is we talked about it. There was a year Jeff Gordon won 10 plus races and didn't win a championship.
Right.
Okay? Yep. So it happens. You can win a lot of races, not win a championship. The old way or the new way.
Right.
Now, we talked about this as well. What I would like to see, what I think would be cool, is if that's the way we want to do it, let's run the old point system the whole year.
Okay.
But at race 26, in the last from 26 to 36, we do the same elimination we do in the playoffs.
16, 12.
16, 12, 8, down to 4.
Right.
Every 3 races, we're taking 4 out. Mathematically, you're done.
Right.
Now it's 12.
Okay.
Old point system, but with the elimination, with the stages, with the stage wins, with the wins, with the laps led,
Right.
the same stuff. Old point system with a little bit of tweak,
Yes.
and let's see it run like that. I get where he's coming from. Consistency, you can win X amount of races, run this good all year, make it to the final 4, make it to the final 8, and be knocked out.
Right.
I get it. I understand that. But entertainment. Entertainment.
So
NASCAR is the most sponsored sport in anything, period. Soccer, football, golf, baseball, does not matter. We have 40-plus sponsors that ride around on track for 3.5 hours that pump millions of dollars in, major sponsors, millions of dollars in
Right.
to see that car
Yes.
on TV winning,
It's their
doing
billboard.
commercials,
It's their
right?
billboard.
So guess what? It doesn't matter if we run the old point system or the new one, because without the sponsors and without their money and TV right money, guess what? You have no sport. Doesn't matter how good a driver is, doesn't matter what it is, you have no sport.
Yep.
So let's just be thankful. Like I said, let's reassess maybe.
So
I always say we got to advance. We
Sure.
got to advance. But
So, what do you think? First of all, I recommend you check out Slap Shoe's
New
video.
point
about the
system.
check out Slap. If you see this, I love your videos. I'm learning a lot from you. I think you are the same generation as my buddy Big here, so I love your videos. They're spectacular. Watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Check it out. Tell us how you think it ought to be.
Yeah,
Should
yeah.
it- you know, we had the original way you won a trophy was you did good all year, and then we went to the chase.
and now to the playoffs.
And now we're in the playoffs.
Right.
So,
So, like I said, I broke down 2 examples. You had Jeff Gordon that won 10-plus races, more than Kevin Harvick won this year, but didn't
Yes.
win a championship on the old school.
Yes.
Now you got Kevin Harvick winning 9 and X amount of top 10s, but not winning the championship in the new school. So at the end of the day, what
we
I
talked
always
about,
say,
remember, in that Matt Crafton won a championship
Kansas.
in a truck without ever winning a
Crafton,
race.
Crafton
He
did.
won a
And Kenneth
championship.
won 1.
Did he? Okay.
And you have a lot of guys, but like I said, in the year, I'm pretty sure it was 96, maybe 97, one of those years right through there, like I always said. He won 10, 10, 13, or 13,
Right.
10, 10, or an amazing amount of race wins Gordon did. But
Right.
he won 10 races in a year and didn't win a championship. So that's what I mean. One more than Harvick, probably ran 1 bigger races, but
Right.
it doesn't matter if it's old or new. At the end of the day, what it's about is running the best race you can run
Yes.
week in and week out. Earning the points you can. If you can't win, you earn the most points.
And I
You
think I
save
heard
those
you
points
say
and
that
you
no
run
matter
it.
what the rules are, as long as the rules across the board
Are the same, I don't care.
You just
Right.
win no matter what.
I don't care if it's the old way or the new way. As long as everybody plays by the same rules, it's the same game. You
There
know
you
the
go.
game when you come in.
Hey fans, listen, thanks for watching and being part of this show. If you're still here, I admire your tenacity.
Yeah.
Hit like and share and ask us questions because we're doing this for you. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and most importantly, our YouTube channel.
Yeah, man,
And if
check
you're
it
looking
out.
on YouTube, for God's sakes, go hit that little I like that video, but more importantly,
Yeah.
subscribe to it. That's
Yeah,
a really
check
big deal.
Check us out, man.
I think that I'm going to have a mutiny with my producer back there if we don't get, we need 100 people. We need to get up to 100 people that say, hey, maybe you just want us to shut up and go the hell away.
Probably
Hit
not going to happen.
subscribe, there you go.
Probably not going to happen.
Our show is called Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing.
Grubbing is tasting, man.
And tonight, wow, are we lucky. We have a beautiful model to bring our Grubbin' Grub up.
Grubbing grub.
Grubbin' Grub. This is lovely Miss Karen, and she is here. Now, look, we were thinking tonight that we ought to get something that you could have if you come here to watch a football game. If you come here to watch a football game, thank you, baby, or a NASCAR race when we start back, or a golf game when the golf gets going in the spring. Sometimes you want a big old dinner. Sometimes you're hungry. You want to get some groceries in your gut. And then sometimes you just want a little snack. And guess what? There ain't nothing as light and tasty as a daggum mushroom from Coach's
in
Court.
my case, you just want to get drunk and get something to eat. I'm just going to let you know that's how that goes. On a Saturday when I'm off and I have nothing to do, I just need something, a little fuel in the tank so I can get drunk.
Oh my God, that's so good.
And let me tell you,
Take us home.
come on, man, mozzarella bites, I'm going to eat that afterwards, man. I'm going to tell you right now, hey, you guys, like I said, always check us out, follow us, like us, share us, subscribe to us, man. It is Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Awesome show, great place, Coach's Corner, every Wednesday, 6 o'clock, center of the universe. Big shout out to John and Adele Henderson. Thank y'all for everything you do for us, the community, and your restaurant. all the friends, all the spectators out here love.
We love
all
y'all.
Hey, stay tuned. If you've never seen it, you've got to check out Coach Carl DeMassi's show. And the AD Chad Griffin, man, they're going to keep you up to date on everything that's going on. Little shout out right here at Ronald McDonald House, Savannah. Thank y'all very much. We represented 26 races out of the year for y'all. Raised a great amount of money for a great cause, local families. You know, that's what it's all about for me. That's what it's all about for Dan. But at the end of the day, you guys, hey, stay tuned. Watch Coach DeMassi. Hey, mask up, drink cold beer, wash your hands.
Yay!
Yeah.
Those are good. Dude, those are really good. That's really good.
I tear those up. But I'm about to get this right here. I like it.
Holy